And then I want to show you what Luca did. Now, Luca created Mario. Now, you guys have the coordinates of Super Mario. Do you remember I gave those to you 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying you have to do this, but it is a lot of fun. Now, he also created Batman. He created Snoopy laying on a house, and then he added Woodstock. I thought that was really creative, and he actually gave the coordinates of his little Woodstock. I think that mathletes are so creative. They can do almost anything. Now, in a way, I think mathletes have superpowers like Superman. And that's what I really, really believe. Now we're getting to my favorite one, which is Sonic the Hedgehog, of the ones that he did. Now I want to show you somebody from our class. Kennedy took the K and he dilated it to a factor of 2 and 3 on the same graph. And Kennedy, man, that is some beautiful work. And in fact, I'm going to prove to you, you're welcome, I'm going to prove to you that Kennedy did an amazing job. Watch this. I'm going to go from this little northwest corner of the K to the northwest corner of the dilation of 2, to the northwest corner of the dilation of 1, all the way to the origin. And do you notice that they all line up perfectly? Let's try that with the southeast corner. Line it up, and guess what? Kennedy, this tells me that your work is perfection. And I'll just do it with the last point just to check your work. So one of the things that Mr. Kramer loves to do is check the work of his mathletes, because I love to find good stuff and I love to find mistakes, because then we can fix them. So let's take a little journey now. I told all of your parents that I was a little sad this week. And the reason why I was a little sad is because I was supposed to be in the homeland where I'm from. I wasn't born there, but the Jewish people, okay, in Israel, I was supposed to be in the land of Israel. Right now, I would be in Jerusalem, and I'm not there. I'm with you guys, and you are with me. But you were supposed to be in places like London and Paris and Beijing, China, and Washington, D.C., Orlando, Florida, Disney World, Nantucket, Sanibel Island, New Jersey, San Diego, East Hampton, New York, Miami, Spain, the BVI's, Jackson Hole. Oh my God, the list is endless. Would you guys like to travel with me right now? Would you guys like to go on a trip? Okay, let's pack our bags. Now, I want to talk about packing your bags. I gave you guys an entire page in your packet, page 2, which starts with the Boy Scout motto, which I think is also the Girl Scout motto, which is be prepared. Now, nobody prepares better than mathematicians. Mathematicians and chess players always are prepared. And so what I'm going to tell you right now is that when we think of preparing, I want you to appreciate what your parents do. When you go on vacation, they make sure that your flights are good for you and your bedtimes. They make sure that you do not have seats next to a smelly bathroom on the plane, because we do not want to be next to a smelly bathroom on the plane. They want to make sure that your passport is updated. Otherwise, if you're going out of the country, you can't go. They also have to call their bank and tell the bank, hey, I'm going out of the country. If you see charges in Spain, it's me. It's me because that's where I'm going. And so the bank knows not to shut off your credit card. You need foreign money. So if I were going to London, who knows what the foreign money is in London? Who can say it? On three. 1, 2, 3.
Euros.
Euros.
Yes.
Euros and what else?
Churros.
Pounds.
Euros and pounds. Now, pounds are the traditional money of England, and euros are now the currency all throughout Europe, but I don't know if they accept it in London anymore. I think they might. The other thing that Mr. Kramer loves to do is research, and I learn about the history of the places where I'm going. So I learned all about Colombia when I went there 2 months ago. And then when I was there, I got to see places where battles were fought, where there was a fort that protected the Colombian people from the Spanish and the French and the English. And the Colombian people got their independence. So it was really exciting for me to learn about that. Now, the other thing I do is I figure out what I need to bring. What will you need when you get there? I always bring sunscreen. Never forget your sunscreen. And the reason is because it's expensive to buy it when you're there. If you bring it from home, not that expensive at all. Don't forget a good book, some games like chess, Sudoku, or playing cards. Now, when my kids were your age, they would bring their blanket, their pillow, a stuffed animal to help them fall asleep. But I do have to tell you, one time, my son Michael, who was about 5 years old, we were in London, he lost his blanket. The housekeeper who cleaned the room took all the sheets and his blanket with it. So if you bring something on vacation, expect that it might get lost. So don't be too attached to it. Now, the last thing is bring a cell phone. And the reason why I like a cell phone, your parents all have cell phones, is that they have something called Global Positioning System. Who can describe for me right now how Global Positioning System works? We know that it finds your location on your phone, but who can tell me how it works? So you raise your hand electronically and I will call on you. And even if you're wrong, you're going to teach us something really good. So go ahead. What is Global Positioning System? GPS. Jesse, go for it. And Jesse, you're muted, so you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Maybe because of the satellite.
Wait a minute. Jesse, tell me what you know about the satellites, please.
The satellite could see. So the satellite goes to outer space, so it could see the parts of the Earth. Then it tells you where's the location.
Oh my God, Teddy, do you have anything to add to that? Because you had raised your hand.
It was kind of like no, I don't.
What Jesse said? Now, guys, do you know how many satellites are orbiting the Earth right now, finding our location? Gabby, you'll have to unmute yourself, but I'd love to choose you.
What?
Satellites are on there.
And Gabby, I want you to hit unmute if you can. Okay, while you're a little, okay, go for it, Gabby.
I think it is like 20.
Whoa, you are unbelievably close. Kennedy, what do you think?
Give me a hint, more or less.
Well, there's more. And Drew, do you have an idea? I don't see Drew. Jonah, what do you think?
25.
25. Wow. Well, guys, and James, you had an idea as well.
23.
23. Well, I'll tell you something. Jesse, you have an idea as well. Go for it. And Jesse, you have to unmute yourself or else.
Maybe 21.
Okay, well, here it is, guys. Are you ready for this? There are 27 satellites.
So close.
And they are orbiting the planet at the same time. 24 of them are working. 3 of them are backups, just in case one of them breaks. Now, satellites are above, so here's the Earth's surface. The satellite, which is right here, is about 12,000 miles in the Earth's atmosphere. 12,000 miles. Now, airplanes fly at about 5 to 6 miles above the atmosphere. Can you believe that a satellite is that much higher than an airplane? And Drew, can you not do that with the chat? Because it takes up all the space and then I can't see other people's chats. So Drew, do you want to share? And I'm trying to unmute you, Drew, so you can share with us.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, no problem. Now, every one of the satellites weighs about 4,000 pounds.
Whoa.
Now, that's 2 tons of steel. So 2 tons of steel, and it transmits a radio frequency from the satellite all the way to cell towers on Earth. And it does that how fast? Who knows how fast a satellite transmits their information from outer space all the way to Earth? James?
4 days.
Ooh, 4 days would be a long time. I would never know where I am. What about you, Kennedy?
500 miles per hour.
500 miles per hour. You're going to be pretty amazed. Carter, what do you think?
3 days.
Well, that would be a long time, and I would never find my location. Teddy, can you stop that, please? Just because it's distracting to other people. And Jesse?
I think it's 0.5 seconds.
0.5 seconds. That's pretty close. And Jonah?
Like 5 milliseconds.
Ooh, you're getting really close. And how about you, Jack?
Probably maybe 2 seconds.
Well, are you ready for this? And Gabby? And Gabby, remember, you have to unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Gabby, I'm just continuing to hit unmute. And let's see if we can do this. Yep, you're allowed to unmute yourself. So go ahead, Gabby.
I think 3 milliseconds.
Okay, you guys ready? The radiomagnetic frequency moves at the speed of light. And the speed of light is 186,000 miles every second. And since the satellite is 12,000 miles away from us, it takes about 1/15 of a second to reach us. So when Mr. Kramer's driving around, or I'm on a boat, or I'm in a plane, it is following me. Everybody snap their fingers like this. It's almost instantaneous. And so that's the way satellites work. And they use a process called triangulation. So make believe make believe that that Boise is one satellite, Minneapolis is another one, and Tucson is another one. What each satellite does is it uses spheres, actual spheres, not circles, but spheres, and it finds your location right in the middle. And it's called triangulation because the 3 satellites work together to find your location right in the middle. And who knows how we record our location on the planet? Who can tell us? Raise your hand if you know how we communicate where we are on the planet. Who knows? And James, raise your hand electronically because I want to get everybody to do that. And that way I can see you much, much faster. Okay, Jack, go for it.
Do you go on your phone and the satellite finds you?
I know, but what numbers does it use? How does it know where I am right now, Jonah?
Does it use so the code 0, 1s, 0s and 1s?
Oh, well, that's actually really, really good answer. And I want everybody to look at this right now. Are you ready? The entire planet Earth is on a Cartesian plane. Thanks to Rene Descartes, we've been learning about him for the last 3 weeks. He actually plotted a Cartesian plane on the planet. So I want everybody to look at how we do this. Are you guys ready? I'm going to make a random point right now in somewhere in China. Okay? So that blue point right there is somewhere in China. And I'm going to show you how we find it. Are you guys ready?
Mhm.
Take the equator. Everybody go like this. Latitude, flatitude. Everybody do it.
Yeah.
Latitude,
I can't see.
Latitude.
the equator is 0 degrees latitude. Everybody say that. The equator
Is 0 degrees
latitude. Now watch. Let's go to 10 degrees north. Come on. Let's go to 20 degrees north. Now we're in India and Mexico. Now go to 30 degrees north. Now we're close to Israel and northern Africa, and we're almost in, I think we're in Texas. And guess what? Where are we, guys?
Maryland.
We're in Maryland and we're in China. So we actually hit our point. And so what we do, guys, is we write down 40 degrees north. Now, what happens if I were 40 degrees going the other way? In southern Australia, where I know that both Gabriel and Sam have been, what would we call this one? Not 40 degrees north. Carter, what would we call it?
40 degrees south.
You got it. So you can't say 40 degrees. You have to say 40 degrees north. Now, that's not the whole story. The other part of the story starts at the vertical line. Everybody go like this. Longitude.
Longitude.
Longitude actually comes from the Latin word which means long, whereas latitude comes from the Latin word which means wide. So latitude is wide, longitude is long, and we are at 0 longitude at something called does anybody know the name? What is the name of 0 longitude? It's the equator is 0 latitude. Jonah, think about it. Who knows that special word? Are you guys ready? It's called the prime meridian. Everybody say that. The
Prime meridian.
meridian. And everybody, to get to China, should I go east or west?
East.
All right. 15 degrees east puts me in
China.
Europe, near Germany. 30 degrees east puts me in almost in
Like
Israel,
London.
Egypt. 45 degrees puts me in Russia. 60 degrees, 75 degrees, I'm in India. Now I'm in Eastern India. And everyone, where are we?
China.
Arrived in China. Everybody get off the plane, but before you do, tell me how many degrees east I came. How many degrees east did I come? On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
10.
That doesn't say 10.
105.
105 degrees east. And guess what? The coordinates of China, China's huge, but this is the approximate location of China. Now, I want everybody to send me a chat with the location of Alaska. The location of Alaska. And I made a red dot, and I want you to chat to me the degrees. First, give me the latitude, north or south, then give me the longitude, east or west, but you have to say whether it's north or south, east or west. So go ahead and send me a chat.
This is confusing.
How far north? How far west? And I don't have anybody's chat yet. And Drew, what do you think? Whoa. By the way, Teddy, Teddy, you gave me half the story. 105 degrees west is right. Jonah gave me the other half and this half, which is what? 60 degrees north. So everybody say it. Alaska is 60
degrees north.
105 degrees
West.
west.
I meant 105 degrees, not 150.
I'm sorry. You know what? Mr. Kramer made a big mistake. I wrote down 105, and you corrected me appropriately. Thank you, Teddy. 150
Jonah.
degrees west.
Oh,
If you go onto your iPad, cell phone, or computer, everyone has what's called a compass app. And if you go to your compass app, it will literally tell you the coordinates of your area. So I'm in Boston right now, and my coordinates are, ready for this? 42 north and 71 west. So I am 42 north, 71 west. If you guys did it yourself, everybody look at Kennedy's. Kennedy's already got it. Kennedy, give me your coordinates.
My coordinates are 42 north and 71 west.
Awesome. Now, of course, Kennedy and Mr. Kramer are not in the exact same place, which is why you see a bunch of decimals after the 71 and after the 42. Don't worry about that right now, but what I want to do is show you a little bit of a close-up of Israel. So you know that I told you that Mr. Kramer was going to be in Jerusalem today. Now, do you notice that Jerusalem is between the 31st north and the 32nd degrees north. Is everybody good on that?
Yeah.
But do you see that it's closer to 32? You see that? By the way, somebody keeps hitting a button that makes a noise. If you would stop that, I'd be most appreciative. Now, Jerusalem is about 31.7 degrees north because it's almost all the way to 32, but not quite there. And then look at it between 36 and 35 degrees east. Do you guys see that it's a little more than 35? So it's 35.2 degrees east. And that is where Jerusalem is. Now, my favorite country is China. And if you look at Beijing, which is the capital of China, it is on about the what parallel? Who can tell me? Here's 45 north. Here's 30 north. Who can tell me approximately where that is? Hayden, what do you think? Can you tell it's more than 30, less than 45? Kennedy, what do you think, buddy?
It's 40 north.
Oh my God. Guess what? Do you know what else is pretty close to 40 north?
What?
We are. We are. Guys, check it out. Let me see if I can take you on a little trip there. You ready? Here we go.
We're just more west.
Oh, whoever said that,
That was
you
me.
totally rock. Look at this, guys. Here is China in the east. And if we go on the latitude line of 40, we get to Boston, which is about 42.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
I don't see you. My screen's on a whole other thing.
Well, Sam, you need to hit the three little dots. And when you hit the three little dots, you'll see where you can get the two bars of the gallery, and that will allow you to see the whole screen. And maybe that Gabriel can help you do that. Okay? Did it work? Wendy, are you able to
Yeah, I'm here. Let me see.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Now, the next thing I want to show you is this. Latitude are a bunch of horizontal lines cut across, and what happens when we go from the equator and we start to go north? Does anybody know what happens when we go 20, 30 degrees, 40 degrees north, 50 degrees north, 60 degrees, 70 degrees, 80 degrees? What happens at 90 degrees north? Say it out loud on 3. 1, 2, 3.
North Pole.
North Pole.
And what happens at 90 degrees south?
South Pole.
South Pole. South
South
Pole.
Pole.
Okay, now
Yeah.
I want to show you a picture of the Earth with North and South poles. Are you ready? This is my favorite thing to do. I do it every day. I go and I get an orange, and I always peel it. And the reason I peel the orange is because the orange looks like the planet Earth with a North Pole, a South Pole, and do you notice the longitude lines? You guys see it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Longitude,
Oh, yeah.
longitude, longitude.
They're like just cutting the earth, though.
It's
Yep.
like
Putting a
bucket.
divot in it.
Now, guys, after our lesson, the first thing you should do after you go to the bathroom and wash your hands is go to your kitchen and get an orange, a clementine, an orange, peel it really carefully and identify the North Pole. You could also have some fun and say, oh, I'm going to make believe that this is the prime meridian, and that's at 0 degrees longitude. And then you could say, well, this one is what? What do you think this one would be right here? Who's got an idea? Come on, be creative.
1 degree. No, 1,000,000 degree longitude.
Oh, it can't be 1,000,000. You can only go a certain distance. What do you think, Kennedy?
10.
I was raising my hand for something else.
Okay, well, what was that of something else?
I wrote you a question in the chat. Can you
Oh,
yeah.
why is New England the coldest place on the 40 latitude? That is a fantastic question. I'm going to answer that in just a second. Gabby, if you would unmute yourself, then we could hear what you have to say. Go ahead.
I think the line you were pointing at before, I think it was like 40 degrees.
Ooh, you can't say 40. You've got to tell me the direction. 40 degrees what?
North.
Ooh, 40 north would be this one right here, Gabby. 40 north is a latitude, horizontal, north of the equator, the northern hemisphere. But Gabby, longitude is either east or west. So what do you think?
West.
Oh, no, west would be, this would be 40 degrees west. Gabby, what do you think this is?
East.
That's right. Beautiful, beautiful job. Now, I had a great question, not a good question. I had a great question from Kennedy. Are you ready, guys? Kennedy said, why are we in the coldest place on the 40th parallel? And my answer, Kennedy, is we are not. Most of the countries on the 40th parallel have the same temperature. Are you with me there, Kennedy?
Cool.
So let's take a little journey, guys. You ready? Let's take a little journey. Here we go. We can start in Northern California.
Which is, yeah.
We can go to Boston. We can go to Spain. We can go to Italy. We can go to, let's see, I think Japan and China, and I think North Korea. All of these countries are on and around the 40th parallel. Now, I have to tell you something. One of my favorite restaurants is called Lola Longitude Latitude. Do you see it?
Mhm.
Lola 42. Now, it's literally in Boston, and it has food from all the different places on the 42nd parallel. Is that cool? Now, there's a place in Nantucket. Nantucket is about 70 miles south of Boston, and every 70 miles, everybody, is 1 degree. So Nantucket is not 42 degrees north, but it is what? 41 degrees north. And what do you think that restaurant is called? Lola 41. And they pretty much have the same food because those countries are pretty similar. But I wanted to ask one of you guys, how many of you have been to Australia? How many of you have been to Australia? Now, and can you change your name from me to your name? Because I don't know if you're Gabriel or Samuel, and it would be really helpful to me if you were to change your name. Now, when you do change your name, I can actually ask you what the coordinates are. Carter, go for it.
I mean, my dad's been to Australia.
Wow, that's very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Drew, can you tell me, Drew, what is the coordinate of Australia?
Oh, wait.
Right there. Everybody chat to me right now the coordinates of Australia. Think of the north-south. Think of the east-west. give me a really good chat on that one. And you can raise your hand also. And Drew, it's important that you not do that when you send me a chat because it takes up all the space on my chat line. So you should be looking at north-south latitudes and east-west longitudes, and I'd love to see that. And parents can help as well because this is a lot of fun to do. And Gabriel, who's been to Australia, and I think Grant Steele, but maybe Samuel, you want to?
My mom was born in Australia.
Whoa. So I bet she knows the latitude, longitude. Okay, everybody now, oh, Olivia, beautiful, beautiful job. But Olivia, you mixed up your latitude and your longitude.
I wrote
It's
it
kind of interesting. So everyone, and I think that Drew nailed it. Are you guys ready?
I said 20 east.
20 degrees south. So Olivia, do you see that it's not east? It's 20 degrees south of the equator. It goes down by 20 degrees. And then Drew, you gave us 140 degrees, what Drew? East or west? And I'm trying to unmute you, but you have to actually help out by unmuting yourself. And you're allowed to unmute yourself. Anyway, Drew, go for it.
West and east.
It is east. So guys, guess what? Australia is in the southern eastern hemisphere of the world, whereas China is in the, help me out guys, northern eastern hemisphere, and North America is in the what? The northern western hemisphere, and South America is mostly in the what?
Southern
Western hemisphere. Now, let's go take a little journey. I want everybody right now to go to page 7 in their packet. Everybody go to page 7 in their packet. And I'm going to give you guys a little quiz. Are you ready? And here's the way the quiz is going to work. I'm going to draw a latitude line or a longitude line, or even a point. And I want you to tell me, by the way, all the answers are down below, but of course not in the correct order. So these are all the answers, and I'm going to give you the first question now. So the first question is, identify the line that I just drew, no pun intended, Drew, and can you please raise your hand if you know the degree measurement and direction of that particular line? And I have 2 hands going up. I want to see more hands going up on this one. I mean, you know it's called the equator, but now Jonah and Gabby, say it together on 3. And Gabby, you're going to have to unmute yourself. 1, 2, 3, go.
0 degrees.
Zero.
Oh, you can't say 0. You've got to tell me if it's latitude or longitude.
0 degrees. Latitude.
And it is 0 degrees whoops, I killed the spelling. Sorry about that. It's 0 degrees latitude. 0 degrees latitude, which is right here. And so that is the equator. Now, in about 1 second, I'm going to ask you to tell me about this vertical line. On 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
0 degrees long.
Everybody say it. 0 degrees
long.
0 degrees longitude.
Beautiful job. Now, I've got a challenge for you. Are you ready? Nobody say it out loud, but everybody write it down. Everybody write it down. So that line right there has a very, very special degree measurement. And I want to hear it from you now. On 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
180 degrees longitude.
Oh, it is west. It is definitely longitude, and it is west. But guess what? I have a trick question for you. Are you ready for the trick question? What is the degree measurement of the black line that I am making now? What is the degree measurement of the black line that I am making right now?
180.
And Jesse, lead me on 3. 1, 2, 3.
180.
180 degrees.
Now, everybody look at the ball that Mr. Kramer is holding. I am holding it with the prime meridian in the middle at 0 degrees longitude. Now, everybody take a little journey with me. Are you ready? We're going to go right now, we're going to go 180 degrees west. Are you ready? And now we're going to go 180 degrees east. Where did Mr. Kramer end up?
Same place.
James nailed it, everybody. James, you nailed it. Guys, 180 degrees west is equal to 180 degrees east. It's the same line. And just for you guys who love geography, it's called the international date line. It's called the international date line. Now, I want you guys to give me the coordinate right now of my, well, let's see. I'm going to ask for the coordinates of Philadelphia. The coordinates of Philadelphia. Now, I don't want you to look at your sheet right now. I only want you to look at Mr. Kramer's diagram on the screen, and I want you to chat very quickly the latitude and longitude of Philadelphia. Everybody do it right now. Quick. 1, 2, 3, go. Latitude, longitude. Latitude, longitude. Whoa. Olivia totally nailed it. Beautiful job. Teddy, you got to give me both though, Teddy. Both. Not just the west, not just the longitude. I need latitude first, then longitude. James nailed it. But James, we say 40 north, not north 40. And Chris, you are correct. But Chris, if you say lat 40, you know where you could be, Chris? You could be in the southern hemisphere. So you got to say 40 degrees north. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you say 75 lon, you could be west of the prime meridian or east of the prime meridian. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. And guys, the answer is 40 north, 75 west, and that is the only place on the planet that has exactly that measurement. And if you go down to Philadelphia, look at it right here, guys. 39 degrees north, 75 west. So we were so close. Now you can find all your favorite places. Now, one of the things that I gave you is I gave you a color world map. Now that means that you could take a trip to anywhere you want in the world and find the coordinates. So everybody, somebody give me a really cool place that we haven't traveled to yet today with the mathlete. Somebody give me a really cool place. Jack, go for it.
Armenia?
Where, buddy?
Armenia.
Armenia. Now, I think Armenia is right about here.
Yep.
Back. Now, I happen to love Armenia because I have a lot of Armenian friends, and it's just north of Turkey and Iraq and south of Russia, Georgia. So can you guys give me the coordinates, please, right now for Armenia? So we're doing Armenia, and I'm looking for the coordinates. Remember, lat first, lon second. And I'm going to try to make these a little bit more clear. This is the 45th north. This is the 30 north. This is the 45th east.
Can I do Tasmania?
You're doing Armenia. So Jesse, you raised your hand. Who's going to tell me what Armenia is? Go ahead, everybody. On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
45 east on third east.
Come on, help out. Hayden, come on, help out. Help out, Teddy. Come on, Claire.
40 degrees. 40 degrees west.
And
Oh, we don't start with west. And by the way, 40 degrees west is right here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So it's nowhere near. Oh, so the longitude is 45 degrees east, but we never do longe first. What do we do first, Teddy? What do we do first? What do we do first? Not Grant, Steele. What do we do first, Gabriel?
Let me guess. Go to Tasmania.
What do we do first, Hayden? Go for it. Does nobody want to give me the latitude, please? Come on. Hayden, what's the latitude? Come on, it's between 30 and 45, right about there. Who thinks they have it? Olivia, what about you? What about you, Gabby? And if you were to unmute yourself, we could hear you too. Don't mute yourself anymore, Gabby. Don't mute yourself. That way you can talk the moment I call on you. Go ahead.
it's 30.
41.
Wow. Guess what? I agree with Gabby. I agree. Jesse, what did you have to say, buddy? And Jesse, you must be muted. Come on, guys. When you raise your hand, please unmute yourself. And now, Gabby, I do not agree with you if you just say 41. You've got to tell me if it's north or south of the equator. Otherwise, you know where I think you are? I think you're going to be all the way down
North.
I think you're in the Indian Ocean. Yes, 41 degrees north and 45 degrees east. And that is awesome. Now, yes, question, go.
How do you spell appreciate?
What's Tasmania?
Tasmania?
Yeah, Tasmania is right below Australia, and it's an island.
Is it this one right here, Drew?
Yep. Yep, that one.
Okay, you know what? Everybody do Tasmania right now. Chat the answer to me right now. Tasmania.
Wait, where is it?
Tasmania.
Where's Tasmania?
Tasmania,
right below
guys, I
Australia.
circled it. It's just
Where
south of Australia, and it's west of New
Can't
Zealand.
see coordinates anymore.
I know.
45 south.
Oh, not out loud, not out loud, not out loud. Not out loud. Everybody chat it. That's what the chat is for.
Stop, Cameron.
All right. Remember, Gabriel, you can't just give me one number. One number means nothing without your north or south, east or west, and you need both. You need both the latitude and the longitude. You can't, Carter, you can't just give me the north-south. You've got to give me the latitude and the longitude. Now, everyone, come on. The latitude is what? About 40, come on. 41 south. Come on. How many degrees? Oh, you know what? I did not show you the picture. So now you can do your east-west.
130.
What do you guys think it is?
130.
That says 150 east, and that says 135 east, and it's right in the middle. So everybody say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
140.
Wow. So guess what? Drew, you could literally send messages to 41 south, 140 east, and that is going to go right to Tasmania. Now, the last thing I want to do with you guys is this. I want everybody to go in their packet to the page, which is number 12. Everybody go to page 12. And this is where I really want you guys to add to the Kramer Math Museum. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to choose as many of these places as you can. So for instance, you know that I wanted to be in Israel right now. So I chose Israel, and Israel is the 31 degree north, 34 degrees east. And do you notice, guys, that I literally found 31 degrees north, right there, and I found 34 degrees east, right there, 34 degrees east, and I wrote in little words the word Israel. Now, you can take any one of these and go wherever you want to go. So, for instance, Hayden, where would you want to go? Where would you want to go? You'll have to unmute yourself because you are muted. Go for it. So, Hayden, where would you want to go? Want to pick a place or some place that you were going to go? How about you, Kennedy? How about you, Chris?
The place that I was going to go is Disney World.
Oh, Disney World. What about you, Chris?
Greenland.
Where, Chris?
Hawaii.
Oh, wait a minute. Everyone do Hawaii right now. Everybody tell me the coordinates of Hawaii. And look at this, guys. Say it out loud on 3. Come on, give me the north-south. Go. 1, 2, 3, go.
30 degrees north latitude.
No.
20 degrees
Guys,
north.
it's right on.
19
20 parallel.
and 155 degrees west.
Yes.
Whoa. That's right. It's about 160 degrees west. Jesse, beautiful, beautiful job. Guess what, guys? Pack your bags, and we are going together. Now, let's do our mathlete cheer, and let's use some of these wonderful numbers.
Who do we appreciate that?
Let's count, and we're going to go from 180 west by 45 degrees. We're going to add 45 degrees north every time. Are you ready? 180 degrees west. Go.
181.
35 degrees west. Come on, add 45. Come on, 90 degrees west. Add 45.
5 degrees.
5 degrees west. But don't ever say
Negative degrees
0 degrees west. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 3, appreciate.
Mathlete.
Mathletes. Oh, mathletes. And I'll see
Bye.
you in 167 hours. Say goodbye to your beautiful, beautiful friends.
Bye.
We'll see them next week. By the time I see you next, you should have traveled the entire world and safely. So have fun, read a lot of books, do some research,
Bye.
and be good to your friends. And Drew, you can take me to Tasmania anytime. Take care, guys.